Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is an example of a human being trying to come up with things to talk about in his improvisational show. And also, I am the host of this show. It's called Vlogs About Nothing, and I always thank everyone for watching, and I definitely always mean that, because why wouldn't I be thankful for people watching? Anyways, thank you for being a part of my life, right? I really do appreciate it. It is Friday here in America, and I am desperately trying to remember what I turned this camera on to talk about. And so, as I do my best to remember what it is I wanted to exactly kind of loosely talk about, I do just want to take this time, I guess, to allow everybody out there to understand that nothing. This is a show about nothing. I need you to understand nothing. Don't you get it? I feel like I could have been better with the lead up into that, but I wasn't, so go figure. Tonight and you know what's really frustrating is I knew what I was going to talk about, or at least I had some kind of an idea of what we were going to be talking about, and now I have the realization that I've completely forgot. And that's tough, okay? Being an improvisational speaker is tough, right? Because you have some kind of an idea of where you're going, and I never want to bore anyone's ears off by sounding exactly the same as I have before in the past. So let's move on. And all right, there's all kinds of things I guess we can talk about. And I guess we'll start by talking about how I think, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm doing my best to procrastinate. This is what I do. This is a defense mechanism. Forgive me. I've been trained far too long on how to speak to people, or I guess in this case, myself. But I always think it's very interesting. For the record, sometimes this is one of the most entertaining and interesting times that I record vlogs, and I feel like not enough people see these vlogs, the ones where like I'm completely lost and I have no idea what's going on, but somehow we manage to get to that 10-minute mark. Somehow it manages to work itself out, and I feel like that is not a bad thing. So let's talk tonight about socks, because that's really all that I have for you. I told somebody recently that I was a huge fan of socks, and to this young lady, I was not joking. There's something about socks. Some people like feet, some people like certain body parts. I don't know. I like the foot when it's covered with a sock. I like socks. So, it's interesting because I say this with such, sort of nonchalant, with sort of just carefree kind of an attitude, right? But like, I take my socks real serious, and I refuse to wear the same pair of socks for longer than 6 hours. This is just because I'm a middle-aged man and I just went through puberty, and I guess the older you get, the smellier you become. I think that's a thing for girls too, but I don't know. Anyways, anyways, I'm just saying, so I do change my socks multiple times a day. And again, it's either I'm not wearing socks or I change them multiple times a day. And that's just because I want my socks to feel nice. I want my feet to feel good. I want my socks to say something about me, even if that is, I love SpongeBob SquarePants. Because I do. I'm a normal American middle-aged man. Holy potatoes, who doesn't like SpongeBob? I know it's a weird cartoon. I know there's a lot of adult stuff in it or whatever, but at face value, on the surface, it is just a cartoon. And, adults are the ones who make things weird with the insinuations and all of the other age appropriate, inferences they get from the content their children consume. So again, I don't know. I like socks for a lot of different reasons. Again, mostly because I don't want to smell bad and I don't want my feet to make me smell bad. And so I like wearing socks. This is a thing. I'm thinking currently of getting some bombas. Once I have some money, I might be buying some bombas, which is this really cool sock company that apparently donates a pair of socks to homeless people every single time you buy one. So, I mean, that's a fair trade. I'm down. I'm cool with that. Homeless people need socks and they need homes, honestly. I mean, socks aren't going to do them that much good when we could live in a world where they could get some type of voucher and not live out on the street and become parts of the society that we all are a part of, and earn some of that fake money so that they can go out and spend it as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with helping other people become self-reliant. I mean, you make somebody self-reliant, you're making them players of the game. It's a mutually beneficial situation for everybody. What's not mutually beneficial is when we think we're better than people, or we, for some reason, think that we deserve opportunities that the homeless guy getting a pair of socks from Bombas is missing out on because of his lack of attitude and determination. All of these pejorative things that we put upon other people when in fact we are all the same. I feel like that's something we don't talk about a lot, and it's unfortunate, and it's a whole area of psychology that I encourage you guys to look into, talking about our commonalities as opposed to all of the arbitrary things that divide us. I think that's interesting, and socks is a good example of something that unifies us. It should, right? I mean, we're in a developed world. Socks are so much a privilege that certain private companies make it a point to donate pairs of them to people that are underprivileged in a developed world. Socks are a real cool thing. And I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I'm a sock guy. I will always be a sock guy. And I think it's again symbolic of something larger than just socks, and I think that's kind of cool. So I like socks. You guys like socks out there? Anybody else like socks? We're almost 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, so we only have 2.5 more to either make some stuff up to go and talk about while we're talking, or to continue the discussion on socks. So, okay, here's the thing about socks. Do you guys wear no-show socks, ankle socks, crew cut socks, thigh socks? I mean, no-show socks, I think I've said that already, but regardless, what kind of socks do y'all wear? You feel me? And do you think socks are akin to somebody's age? Like, for example, I brought up the fact that I dated somebody like 22 years older than me. Her fashion choices were indicative of a senior age grandma woman, including undergarments, right? So it's sort of like, yeah, we all do reach a point, I guess, in our life where we decide to not boxer brief it or up, I guess, because I'm a man, and but there's no such thing as, is there such thing as grandpa underwear? Is that a thing? I guess it is, like whitey tighties or whatever, but like, so inevitably do American men end up old and in whitey tighties? Because if that's the case, I'm looking for a different road. You feel me? I don't want to end up in a pair of whitey tighties as an old man. I feel like I don't want to do it. And we're talking about this, obviously, because we're talking about articles of clothing, and then we got into socks and how it made us feel, and now we're talking about my own experience sidebar with an older woman who did in fact wear grandma underwear. So I mean, like, seriously, don't hate me. I mean, ladies, gentlemen, they, them, how many times have you guys been with a woman, right? And even while that woman is young and you're young, and she's not wearing what we constitute as young women underwear, right? I've heard it from women many more times than I can count, but it's sort of like, yeah, I got my granny panties on tonight, I'm only 25 years old, and I was like, okay, cool, I understand what you're saying, but regardless, so there's no such thing. I guess socks, do they change as you get older? Maybe, right? Because I feel like when people are younger, they wear like ankle socks, no-show socks, and then like when people are older, they start to wear, like, they don't care, they're just like, whatever, ankle sock, I don't care, this crew cut sock, whatever, it doesn't matter, and I feel like sometimes I even fall within that, but for the record, I don't care what I look like when I wear different socks, because the socks are the whole centerpiece of what I'm trying to convey to y'all. So, like, I could be in a town near you wearing a completely weird pair of socks with a completely weird outfit that doesn't match at all. And I'm just throwing it out there. The centerpiece of all of that is my socks, right? So the least shameful amount, like article of clothing that I have on me in that particular time or in any particular moment is always going to be my socks. I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks for getting through that one with me. I am going to remember what we were going to talk about initially, and we'll get going on that video. Bye.